Hello everyone, welcome back to Starkey Farmstead. So it's been a few days since I made a long form video because I've been busy. My name is Sam, guys, and I want to walk you through some things that America is facing. Things that you may be aware of, but things that you might not have heard about yet. Let's start with this. So there's a new law being signed by Biden's administration where we, the American taxpayers, are going to pay to send illegal immigrants home once they land in Panama. So yes, you heard me right. Once they get here, Panama, and they go or attempt to go through the Darien Gap, the American taxpayers are now we're on the line, folks. We don't have a choice. You and I don't have a choice. This has been decided and it has been signed. We will now not only support Panama with training, with equipment, and with the flight cost of sending home close to 500,000 people. We're going to pay to fly back to their countries of origin. Now, I don't know how you feel about that, but unlike the rich and the liberal, most Americans are struggling paycheck to paycheck. For the ones of you who aren't, you're probably full of credit card debt, mortgage, car note, and your interest rates are through the roof. Now you're on the ticket. You don't have a choice. You're going to pay for 500,000 people. Once they get to Panama, to the Darien Gap, they're going to be scooped up. You're going to pay for the training, the equipment, and the facilities to hold these illegal migrants. And then you're going to pay to send them back to their country of origin. Did you vote for that? Did anybody ask you what your opinion was about that? Of course not. But see, this is a response from President Biden when Trump said, you're destroying America with the illegal immigrants. Do you guys remember how people reacted when Trump said, when I get in office, I'm going to deport every illegal immigrant in the United States. I'm going to send them back to their countries of origin. People were like, it's racist. It's going to cost too much money. It's not fair. Yet President Biden can give that money to Panama. Who's going to oversee that money? How much money are we talking about? Is it going to the NGOs, Biden? To the nonprofits? Because if you guys have been paying attention, you got places like Maui where $162 million was raised by people like you and I to help them rebuild after the August 8th, 2023 fires. The citizens that got burned out didn't receive that money. All $162 million was divided up amongst all the nonprofits and NGOs in Maui. Now think about that. Think about that. $162 million from people like you and I, donated from the goodness of our hearts to see fire victims rebuild their lives. They didn't receive it. So you want us to believe, now that's in America where we can control it. We can talk about it. We can bring awareness to it, and we can hold people accountable for the way that they managed $162 million. This is Panama. You want us, the American taxpayers, to believe that you're going to do this correctly, that there's not going to be anybody getting rich off this scam? Is this just another Ukraine, folks? How much more money does America have to keep sending out of our country? Have you seen the roads in the cities of America lately? Have you seen the deplorable state of our country? Have you gotten out of your house lately? Have you seen the crime going up? Do you feel safe, folks? Welcome to Biden's America. Welcome to Biden's America. Now, recently I've been talking to you guys about microwaves. Watch this video.
For some of us, there are few things more exciting than a device that could get certain people to shut up. And that's just what Japanese researchers say they've created with the new speech jammer gun. Using a directional microphone, a directional speaker, and a distance sensor, the gun trips up its target by playing back their own voice to them at a slight delay of around 200 milliseconds. Think of it like that annoying cell phone echo, but scientifically designed for getting you to clam up. After their research went viral, researchers released a humorous video showing the gun in action, showing speakers apparently disoriented by the device. Granted, silence is golden, but the origin of the speech jammer gun is actually based in science that helps people speak their mind. Similar delayed auditory feedback devices have helped stutterers speak more clearly, but for non-stutterers, it has the opposite effect. Get those things on the market quick, guys. They might sell faster than the iPad 3.
Now, the reason I played that is because if you remember the Trump debate from the Cleveland Clinic,
the stuff they have nowadays, guys, would blow your mind. But recently I brought to you guys the fact that NASA on their website will show you how the waves that they're tracking the weather with are the identical microwaves of the microwave oven in your kitchen. What happens when you put food inside of a microwave oven or water? It heats it up. What happens when you shoot microwave rays, frequencies through open air and over water? Everything in its path is going to heat up. Now guys, we are going back to Maui. We have 30 days before we fly out for this mission trip. If every person listening right now would take 1 minute of your time and donate $1 to this trip, we would have thousands of dollars to pass out to the fire victims in cash, put it in their hands. They're not children. That money should have never been filtered through nonprofits. It should have gone to the people, but it didn't. And you can make a difference. People of Hawaii went through was horrific. Watch this.
Says she suffered severe burns to her face, hands, and legs while trying to escape the August 8th fires. She was then flown to Oahu and admitted here at Straub's burn unit. 4 months later, she entered hospice care.
She said when she was on the scooter, she could feel all the embers because the wind was at her back like 60 miles an hour. She said the wind was strong. And all the hot embers were hitting her and sticking to her because they were red hot.
Claude and Sonia Huerta didn't know if their big sister Claudette, or Mamo, survived the wildfires until she called them from Straub Medical Center in Honolulu. She told them that as the fire spread on August 8th, she panicked and left her senior housing complex on Waine'e Street on her mobility scooter and headed to Front Street.
Never let them forget what they did. Most of you by this point already understand the implications behind what they did and how they're repeating it across the United States and the world. Even now, a year later, they're still doing it, folks. The chemtrails in the sky, they're dropping heavy metals, and then they're microwaving with microwave frequencies at different levels, different hertz levels. And that metal is what's heating up the worst, okay? So now we're trapped in heat bubbles. I grew up in the South. I'm used to being hot, folks. I mean, I really am. But what we've been dealing with, it feels like my insides are cooking. It physically makes us ill to be outside in this heat. And this is not from cattle grazing. It's simply not. Now let's talk about some of the things Biden has recently done, like giving Moderna a whole bunch more money to come up with another vaccine. But this one for the bird flu. Yeah, look how many millions of taxpayer dollars are going to go into making this vaccine that we then have to buy back from Moderna. They're not even making the vaccine and giving it for free. They're getting the money to make the vaccine, and then they charge the federal government for the vaccine. That to me is a pyramid scheme. When I think, because somebody asked me about the private shopping club that I'm using, where I can buy American-made, non-toxic products, and you can also get them from me. If you're interested in that, email me. I'll hook you up. They're like, oh, it's the pyramid scheme. No, it's just a private online shopping club What the federal government does is a pyramid scheme. Let's give you tax dollars to make a Moderna vaccine. Then we will buy the vaccine back from you, even though it is with our federal dollars that you created it. That is a win-win, folks. Maybe we should all go into creating vaccines that don't work, right? Something else I found extremely interesting today. Watch this.
Dollars, equivalent to 1 million yuan. He continued, "Thanks to Chase, Citibank, and American Express for your company over the past 3 years. All of your banking services are really good. I always remember that I am Chinese and committed to revitalizing China. I use this first bucket of gold to contribute back to my homeland, also as a heavy punch to American imperialism, and a final lesson to American capitalists." The post left both Chinese and foreign online commentators shocked, sparking discussions. "I'm puzzled. Don't these banks have limits? Especially for those without permanent visas, then anyone can do this and cross the border into Mexico. I think they should revoke his degree. I'm glad the banks got cheated by a creditless international student.
So international students, but especially the Chinese. They come here, they get an education at our very finest establishments for free on your tax dollar, again. Then they max out credit cards and go home with that money in their pockets. This is what America has become. They're giving credit cards to anybody for any reason, and then the federal government bails them out. We have become the Ponzi's. America by itself is supporting the whole stinking globe. We are on Carl Schwab's radar. He doesn't have many years left, folks. And let me tell you something. Look at this. You see this? They did not meet their climate goals. In fact, they doubled how much energy they're using, and what did they blame it on? AI. AI uses so much water and so much energy to cool it and to run it that it pushed their climate goal right out the window. But this lady said, hey, look, people using AI and the computer to make memes, you guys, this is all your fault. You should only use energy when it helps society as a whole. I'll tell you something. They're feeding people that nonsense. You know what? Use your energy any way you want, people. God gave us air and water and dominion of the earth. And it doesn't matter how low you run your AC or how far you drive your truck or how many memes today you make using AI. Go create. Be the creative human made in a creative God's image. Do it with a smile on your face. Do not ever let these insane people with these global mindsets take from you. We're going to make America great again, not by Trump, but because we're going to stand together. We're going to stand up. We're going to get this country straight. Somehow, some way. Run for local politics, whatever. Please donate to our Maui Fund. Every one of you that just watched this will give $1. That would be thousands of dollars. Everybody has $1. I love you guys. I cannot believe that I went inside to get out of the heat and soak up my AC. World Economic Forum, did you hear me? I went inside to soak up my air conditioning, and I forgot to tell you guys that a multi-billion-dollar company, okay, billion profits in the billions, decided it didn't make enough money, okay? It's got to lay off 600 people. You want to guess what company it was? John Deere. John stinking Deere. Do you know what the USDA said? That farms are losing money across the United States at a rapid pace, right? So coupled with everything I've been bringing you about water being cut off from farmers, Bill Gates stealing farmland, you know, this global sustainability, greenhouse gas nonsense pressing down on the farmers. Now you've got John Deere laying off employees because they didn't make enough profit, which means even though they did make almost $8 billion in the first quarter of the year, first 3 months, people. Yeah, that wasn't enough for them. Greedy people. Nearly 600 innocent people off from their jobs. The USDA said, farming overall, if you add in inflation, farmers' profits are down almost 30% in 2024. What does that mean? When you've got a profit loss margin that is in the thousands, 30% means you can't pay your land taxes. 30% means you just lost your family farm. You better get some food in the ground, folks. My book will be coming out before Christmas. I hope and pray all of you purchase it. It's going to help you learn how to grow your own food. I love you guys. This is stuff you're not going to hear on mainstream media because they don't want to alert you to what's coming. And that is total devastation of the United States economy. Love you guys.